Hello and welcome once again back to Vallee Lake 1 here in France. Now if you watched my previous video you'd have seen that we did come here about 8 months ago now, back in October. We done a week, me and my friend Jack. We were in peg 1, which is right down the end. We had pegs 1 and 2 to ourselves along with the hook lodge. But we had just doubled up in peg 2 and we doubled up in peg 1 and just fished there for the whole week. Didn't do massively well. We had a few fish between us, not many, but to be fair the whole lake only done about 10 fish that week, so just one of those weeks. But anyway, we are back, we're here now, Jack's with me, we're here to right that wrong. Weather, as you can probably see, is completely different. We're now at the back end of May. We've kind of just made it here before the main fish have spawned, if that makes sense. Got here, spoke to Mark, and he said a few fish did spawn last weekend, but the main bulk of them haven't spawned yet. So there's still a good chance there's going to be a lot of fish that are going to be feeding. It's sunny, overcast, a couple of showers going to happen in the week, but most importantly the air pressure is going to be low. It's only going to be about between 110 and 113 the whole week that we're here. Wind's going to be swinging around everywhere, so you can't really take that into consideration, but the signs are better. So we're not fishing pegs 1 and 2 this time. We're in normal swims, I'll say normal swims, but swims without accommodation. I'm in peg 4 and Jack's in peg 3. Last time we were here we done a full week, 7 days 7 nights, but this time we're only here for a midweek session. One great thing about here at Vallee, if you fish Lake 1, they do allow you to do either long weekends, midweek, or a full 7 days, which I think is really cool, because sometimes, I know I've been here before on my own, and 7 days and 7 nights when it's just you, yourself and I, it can be a very long time. So anyway, this is all we could get. In all honesty, we only booked this whilst we were here in October, to be fair, so we were quite fortunate enough to be able to get a midweek session for 2 of us now. So here we are, back in action, so to speak. I'm in peg 4, like I say, Jack's in peg 3. Gonna get everything set up. It's been carnage. I had to leave the house about 2 o'clock this morning to get here. The sun's beating down on me now, as you can see, so I'm hot, I'm tired, but I'm excited. So it's time to quit the yabba yabba, get the gear all in order, get some rods in the bait, and I'll touch you in a bit. Right, well that's all 3 rods out on the money now. Didn't take me too long, to be fair. It was quite easy. I am a little bit fortunate that I have fished this swim before, probably about 3 years ago now, and I know everything down, all my spots, where I caught from, what hook baits I use, what rigs I use, things like that. So if you do ever come back to a venue and you go into a swim that you've fished before, you can quickly just clip up your lead, bare lead, cast out to the spots you've already got written down, and you can be confident that you're fishing accurately and fishing well where you know you've had bites before. Gone for 3 different spots, just because I have had fish from a few different spots when fishing in this swim before. 3 different hook baits. On the left hand rod I've gone for just a straight match the hatch 16mm Apex wafter. Middle rod, same, but I've tipped it off with a little bit of fake corn, and on the right hand rod I've gone just corn only. Corn in the boat, 2 bits of fake slow sinking corn on the hook, all 3 on IQ D rigs. Caught well on this rig before, this lake, with those presentations, so you know that's my start and gambit, and we'll just wait and see what happens. You know, on 3 good, clean, hard, firm, silty spots. I've seen fish show. There's been 2 fish show right tight down to my left hand margin. Not really my water, more the guy next door, which is absolutely fine, but my left hand rod is just on the boundary of my as far left as I can go, really, without encroaching on him. I've done the right thing. I popped my marker my marker float out, popped it up, ran round, had a chat with him, said, "Are you happy with it?" And he agreed. Yeah, that was still in my water, so we were pleased with that one, and everyone's happy. Haven't put too much bait out, just literally 3 or 4 little scoops of bait, just some pellet that they sell out here at the lake, and some chops, and a few 16mm Apex formula boilies. Obviously the right hand rod, which I said is corn only, so I think I've only put 1 normal sized tin of corn in the boat, 2 bits of fake corn on the hair, and that's going to be my starting bet for the first night. They're out, I'm happy, it's only 4 o'clock. I'm going to sit back, I'm going to relax, I'm going to watch the water and let the fish tell me whether they're in my area or whether I need to change spots. But for now, that's what I'm going with. Right, well, we are up and running. It's about midnight and I've had a double take. A few bleeps on the left hand rod, got me out the bivvy. Just as I was in taking a couple of steps, it then started tearing off. Before I could even pick that rod up, the middle rod has just gone straight one toner. Luckily, I'd already called Jack, he was on his way over. I picked up the left hand rod, started doing battle with that one, and by the time Jack got here, he managed to pick up the middle rod and start applying that one. First one in the net, beautiful 26 pound 1 ounce mirror. Put up a really good scrap for herself, and it's beautiful. The scale pattern is absolutely beautiful. It's a bit of a shame we've got to film this and photograph and stuff in the night because it would look so much better in daylight, but hey ho, that's the way it is. But yeah, this is the first one. Just taking on a match the hatch wafter. And there she is. Oh, 26 pound 1 ounce. First part of a double take. And the second one's even bigger. Looking at it, I think the second one might get 4.0. Oh, absolutely made up. We are off to an absolute flyer. Happy days. Right, well this is the second one of my double take. Bit bigger this one, 41 pound and 12 ounce. Oh, real fat. Very few scales. Probably a typical French fish, I'd probably say, is what most people would call it. Look at her. 41 pound and 12 ounce. Oh, I feel her tensing up then. Oh, look at that. Absolutely buzzing. Double take on the first night. Brilliant. Right. Mwah. Little kissy. Thank you very much, my love. She's enjoying my cuddles too much. There's one thing with fishing in warm weather, always keep them retained for as little time as possible. Even in deep water, there's lack of oxygen in the water whenever it's warm. I mean, this fish has only been in the sling less than 10 minutes. But she did put up a hell of a scrap, I'll give her that. So she's taking a little while just to get herself sorted. Just be patient with her. In a minute, here you go. She'll start kicking and away she goes. Thank you, my love.
Happy days.
Happy days. And that's one for the lads at work. Bosh.
Here we go, we finally got there. And I'm buzzing off my tits because this is another PB, my second trip at Vallee Lakes. And it weighed in at 14 ounces. And I'm buzzing, absolutely buzzing. I love mirrors. And for a mirror, I normally get better fights with commons, but this just took me all over the place. And it's a really wrong time for me to get bicep tendonitis. This really killed the forearm. Anyways, I'm gonna get some photos before I swear again. All right, this took about 4 takes. I am the Noddy Fisherman official. Right, thank you so much for making my trip after 12 hours of fishing. I hope I get your bigger brother or sister. Take care.
Right, first night only got better. It's literally just gone first light and I've had another take. Left hand rod again, pulled up tight and then started stripping liners just before I got to it. And we've got another cracker, 36 pound and 12 ounce this one. Really nice dark fish, hoping it shows up just as well in this low light. Run me absolutely ragged, tried getting in the left hand margin, got caught on a bit of a tree branch I didn't see that was under the water, but luckily I managed to come back out again with no hassle. Yeah, another one taken on the match the hatch wafter. So my one rod that's on the right hand side that was out last night on just 2 bits of fake corn over, nothing but corn, that'll be getting changed today, and I'll have all 3 rods over, boilie, chopped boilie, and some of the house pellet from here at the lake. Anyway, let's get her up. I'll show you what she looks like. She's an angry one, this one. Come on, sweetheart. A few seconds of filming and a couple of photos, you can go back. Right, there she is. 36 pounds, 12 ounce. Ah, well happy with that one. Beautiful, beautiful golden fish that is. Put up a right scrap. Lovely, lovely jubbly. Well, what a hectic night that was. Flipping heck, I'm absolutely shattered this morning. I've had next to no sleep. Obviously I had those 2 fish, that double take. Got them sorted, got the rods back out again. Within 15 minutes, we're still sitting in my swim. Jack's got a run. He's darted off, we've gone, we've sorted that out. Said, see you later to each other, I'll see you in the morning, whatever. I hadn't even got back into bed and my rod was off again. And obviously by this point it was about sort of 5 o'clock in the morning, just as the sun was starting to come up, and then I had that cracking 36. So yeah, absolutely dream start. 4 fish within the first night and first morning, we'll say. Nothing more after that. We're now, what time are we now? 10 o'clock. So I'm not going to lie, I was up. Well, I stayed up to be fair because it was getting light. Done the photos and stuff of that 36, put the rod back out and stayed up. But to be fair, first light this morning, saw absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, no fish jumping, no rolling, nothing. Odd little patch of bubbles here and there, but not really a lot at all. Whereas the night before, after we put the rods out, we're having a barbecue, you know, putting the world to rights. It was like a dolphin show in front of us. The wind was pushing into us. There was fish jumping everywhere, and I reckon they were no more than, I reckon, 8 wraps out. Bear in mind, I've got one rod that I had the 40 off. It's only at 12 wraps, that one's quite close. The left hand rod is only at 15 wraps, but that is down to my left, sort of towards the margin-ish, so it wasn't a million miles away, but I had 2 fish off it, so they obviously did move. And the only rod I didn't get a touch on was my right hand rod, which is 18 wraps, sort of out in the middle of a nice, clean, hard spot I found out there. I've changed that one today. I'm going to put that back out, but I'm going to take off the fake corn over just corn, and I'm going to switch out to being exactly the same as the other 2, a mixture of chopped boilies, whole 16mm boilies, and the house pellet they sell here at the lake. That's what's worked on the other 2 rods, and I'm not going to top that one with fake corn, and I'm not going to put any corn in the mix. The middle rod where I had the 40 off, that has got a fake bit of corn soaked in isotonic goo on that, and I put probably less than a tin full of sweet corn over that. So I've done the big one, so I'm going to leave that one as it is, but the other 2 rods now, the left and right, both exactly the same, match to hatch, Apex formula wafters over those. Keeping it simple, if I'm honest with you, just fluorocarbon D-rigs, size 4, if I can get my words out, curved shank hooks on a one of the Kicker D kickers that you get now. Saves you time to whip and knot and all that sort of stuff. Those are all supplied to me by Hobo Armour. Great quality, fair price, so you can't complain. That really helps keep the cost of fishing down. Hooks as well, and I'm going to be really honest with you here, the 2 fish I had off that left hand spot, they're off the same hook, straight out of the packet, not hand sharpened. The hooks from Hobo Armour are really, really sharp, straight out of the packet. I had the first fish, tested at my finger, it was still pinpoint sharp, so I went back out again, and lo and behold, I had that 36 this morning, and they were both absolutely nailed, smack bang in the middle of the mouth, bottom lip. So yeah, can't fault the quality of the products there. So today, just going to chill out really. It's going to be overcast all day. Air pressure is still quite low. It's only going to be about 1,010 all week, which is absolutely bang on for us, really good. Going to be a little bit sunnier last couple of days. but today about 4 o'clock I think it is, we drew a thunderstorm for an hour or two, so I'm going to get the rods redone nice and early, get fresh rigs out, fresh bait, back on the spots nice and confident, and wait and see, because I think there is a chance of another fish or two during the daylight hours today rather than wait until night. But we'll see. If we get them all at night, we get them all at night. One of the rules here at Vallee is all fish have to be photographed in the water, so if you're wondering why to this point that all the fish that you saw that we caught last night were filmed in the water, that is the reason why. It's one of the strict rules here. You have to either take the hook out or cut your hook link whilst the fish is still in the water before you get them out to weigh them, but then you must photograph them, and in my case film them, all in the water. So that can be tricky, and I am pretty glad that I've got Jack here to help me do it, to be fair, because I'd be struggling like hell to do it all on the tripod with remotes and stuff like that. So we're getting through it. We've had a cracking start. Going to get the rods sorted now, have a bit of a tidy up because the bivvy's like a bomb site, and get it sorted and ready in plenty of time before that rain hits us later. So I'll catch you in a bit. Right, well, fish number 4. It's middle of the day, it's about 1:30 in the afternoon. I only put the rods back out again about half an hour. Brought them in this morning, went to the shop, got some fresh bits, come back, quickly put them all back out, and this one's gone off already. She's really lively. I mean, literally just landed a couple of minutes ago. Not going to mess about with it. We had all the gear ready to go, so let's get her up. 33 pound on the nose. Happy with that. Another mirror. A few other people had fish last night and stuff as well, and everyone just seems to be catching the mirrors at the minute. There she is. 33 pound on the button. In the middle of the day. Lovely. Right, well, we're coming to the second night now. Light's starting to fade quite quickly now. What time is it? Yeah, 10 o'clock. Nothing's happened since I had that last fish this afternoon. But to be fair, that was a bit of a bonus because I didn't expect that to happen either. So, really pleased with that. Sitting here, been watching the water for hours now. Had a cracking barbecue for dinner, as you do. I haven't really seen a lot show. There's been, I reckon, it might be the same fish, probably shown 3 times off the point of the island, which is nowhere near, that's not my water at all. That's kind of the guy diagonally opposite in the cabin. He had a couple last night as well, and I'm pretty sure I saw him putting his rod back out there. Hang on, fish has just rolled out in open water as well. That's not a million miles off my middle rod actually. That's probably the best show I've seen actually all afternoon, so actually that's filled me with a bit of confidence. Last night sat here again having a barbecue, couple of drinks, whatever, and it was like a dolphin show. Fish rolling all over, really close in, probably only about 8 wraps out, some to the right, some straight out, some to the left, but they were putting on a show. And obviously then last night we had 3 between us, and then I had a 4th, my 4th overall. First light this morning. I know the guys in peg 9 opposite had at least 1 last night, because whilst I was putting my rod out, he had a run. Guy over in the cabin, sort of opposite to my left, he definitely had 2 last night, because I saw him and heard his alarms both times. So it fished really, really well last night, but there has been a significant downfall in the amount of shows we've seen this evening. But don't know, I'm not going to read too much into that. Still confident. All rods are on the same spot. I did change my right hand rod though, same spot, but like I said before, I've taken off fishing just corn. It's a method that worked really well for us last time we were here. All the fish that we caught ended up coming off fake corn over nothing but corn. But this time it seems to be all about sort of boilies and pellet mixed. So yeah, that's basically come off fake corn and corn, and now exactly the same as my left hand rod. That's now Apex Formula Matcha Hatch Wafter on a Fluoro D rig over a bed of chopped, few whole 16mm boilies and a load of the house pellet they sell here. So all rods went out nice and clean straight off, nice and easy. Here's one of the joys of using a bait boat, I suppose. You can be super accurate. Really confident, not gonna lie, I am really confident. So fingers crossed The carnage from last night will continue tonight, and I will see you in the pitch black with a nice big fish in my hands. Right, well, I've got something a little bit special to show you now. No, sadly I haven't caught it, but the guy up, one swim up from me, up in Peg 5, has just quickly come running down to ask me if I can take some photos for him. He's only gone and landed a 59 pounder. Absolutely buzzing for him. He's a really nice guy. I've been chatting to him a few times here and there the few days we've been here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to quickly get my trainers on, get up there, take some photos for him and see if he'll let me film it on here, and so you can show you guys as well. But man, 59 pounder, even I'm buzzing to see it.
It's pure 59 pound all the way.
Just brings tail round towards me a little bit. Look at that, 59 pound.
59 pound 8 on the nose.
Lovely. Well, how about that for a fish then? Absolute banger, 59 pound 8 ounce. That is what is swimming around here in Vallee Lake, and believe it or not, the lake record for both mirror and common is mid-70, so they go even bigger than that, but made up for him. Really nice guy. Been chatting to him a few times this week while I've been down here. Really nice to see a big fish like that on the bank, so yeah, really pleased for him. He's only been here the same amount of time as us as well, but he's doing the full week versus our 4 days, so yeah, he's still got plenty more time ahead of him. But yeah, he seems to be the only person that caught a fish during the night last night. Whole lake went quiet, but he's still managed to catch a couple, and he's just had that absolute enormodon. Mate, I can only imagine having one of them myself. Fingers crossed, still got plenty of time left, got 2 nights. Going to redo the rods in a minute for the evening, and if I'm lucky I might get one myself. Right, well, we're now heading into the 3rd night, and as I sat here getting ready to do this little clip, I suddenly realised I actually never done an update this morning. I'm not too sure why. To be fair, there's nothing really to report. Absolutely nothing happened last night whatsoever. Barely anything to shoot last night, especially compared to the night before. The first night we got here was like a dolphin show. Last night, barely anything to shoot. Nothing. The only thing that we know of that was caught last night in the hours of darkness was directly opposite us in Peg 9. One guy had a 46 pound catfish, but that was it. And bearing in mind, between a lot of us, we'd had nearly 10 fish out the night before. Chatted to the guy just up the bank from me, the one that had that cracking 59 pounder earlier, and he was saying literally nothing was showing that night as well. So even up that end of the lake where I can't quite see, even they stopped showing up there as well. So the guys down in the lodge, Pegs 1 and 2, they said exactly the same. Barely anything had shown at all last night. So yeah, really a quiet one. Not really too sure why. There was no sudden spike in air pressure or really bad weather or anything. So just one of them really, just a bit quiet. As I've sat here now getting this ready, I've now seen 2 fish show. One not a million miles away from my middle rod, and one probably about 3 rod lengths to the left of my left hand rod. So that's a really promising sign. So that's kind of got me a little bit more excited, because after having that really good hit the first night or first 24 hours, I really thought we were going to be in for a real big hit, but snap back to reality. But still, anyway, the rods are all out. We've had a nice steak dinner cooked on the barbecue, always goes down well. Just going to sit here now, enjoy the last couple of hours of daylight, maybe watch a movie on the iPad, who knows. Just keep our eyes on the water, see what we can see, and fingers crossed we might be in for a few tonight. But if not, see you in the morning. Good morning. Sadly, another quiet night last night. Felt really confident when I went to bed, I'm not going to lie, seeing those fish start showing again. I thought we might be in for another few fish like we were on the first night, but unfortunately it didn't happen. The only occurrence I did have, 5 o'clock this morning, my left hand rod had a really funny take. Come out, ended up with a little 4 or 5 pound baby catfish. Obviously didn't waste my time filming it, just reeled it in, unhooked it in the water and let it go back on its merry way. So that was the only thing to report. Been up since then. My alarm's been set for 5:15 every single morning since we've been here anyway, just to starting to get first light, just so I can sit here watching the water, having a few brews and just seeing if any fish show. But one thing that has been clear, the fish don't seem to show very much in the morning. It's always been from about 9 o'clock at night, when it just as getting dark, they start to show and start to roll. And when I say show, they haven't been boshing out, they've just literally been head and shoulder rolling. If you're sitting there looking at your phone or reading a book or something like that, you'd miss it. You'd have no idea that was going on. But by sitting here and watching the water, you can see them quite clearly. So the plan for today, I think, gonna reel in a few hours time, about 10:30, go to the shop, get a few last supplies just to get us through this last 24 hours, come back, I'm gonna put the rods out. We're due for heavy rain this afternoon, so I wanna get it done nice and early before that happens. I think I'm going to move my right hand rod, because that's the only rod that I haven't had a single fish on at all, and I haven't seen any fish showing anywhere near that rod, so I'm going to move that one. I'm going to bring it closer in. It's been fished right out to the middle at 18 wraps. That's a good point as well, actually. I've got on my phone a distance pinner app, and I've sat here and I've pinned the distance from me in peg 4 to peg 9 opposite, and 18.5 wraps is the halfway point. If you both fished at 18.5 wraps, your baits would be side by side. So that's a little tip for you. If you're fishing pegs 4 or 9, that is your halfway point, aiming directly at each other. So I'm going to move that rod because it hasn't done anything. I'm going to bring it in closer, probably move it slightly to my left as well, because that's where my two my two spots that have produced fish have come from. But I'm not going to put it on the same spot as either of them, because obviously they haven't done any fish for 2 nights now. But I'm going to find something slightly to my left and a lot closer in, because that's where the fish have been showing. That's the plan. Whether I stick to just fishing wafters, I don't know. Fish just topped in the same area they were topping last night. So yeah, definitely that's the area I'm going to be putting that right hand rod. I'm going to leapfrog the middle rod and put that out there, because there's definitely some activity going on out there. See what the bottom's like later, whether I stick to me match the hatch wafters or whether I move over to something a bit brighter, maybe a pop-up, I won't see, but it will depend what the bottom's like. Every other spot I'm fishing, they're all clean bottoms, really hard, firm seal. You get a crack and drop when I'm casting out the bare lead, marker lead, so there's no need to fish pop-ups for me. And to be fair, the guy to my left that had that 59 yesterday, he caught that on a straight out the bag boilie, sold here at the shop, one of their own brand ones, which is a very dark burgundy colour. I'm using brown, there's not much difference in them, and obviously that's what I've had 4 fish off now. So yeah, I'm not going to move to brights unless I have to. They do say that pink and yellow work well in here, but obviously I've had all my fish on match the hatch, so don't know, a little bit of thinking over the next few hours. I'm going to find that spot, put a rod out there, and you know, what will be will be. Plenty of time left, so you know, haven't lost any hope. This isn't an easy lake, so just keep plugging away, see what we can do. Right, well, absolutely out of the blue, we've only got another take. Beautiful 46 pound 8 ounce mirror. Honestly, we said, yeah, let's reel in, let's go and have a shower, let's go to the shop, because we're due a heavy thunderstorm this afternoon. We want to get back in plenty of time to get the rods out before that. I've reeled in my left, my right and my middle rod. As I'm laying the rig down inside my bivvy for the middle rod, the left hand one's absolutely screamed off. This fish has led me a merry dance. I've had to get in the water because it went right down the left hand margin, got caught in a tree branch, hell of a scrap, but she is a beautiful, looks quite an old one, quite a pale looking mirror, 46 pounds 8 ounce. I'm made up again, match the hatch, Apex Formula wafter over just couple of handfuls of chops and some house pellet. This is the rod that I had that little catfish on this morning that I put back out. There she is. 46 pound and 8 ounce. Beautiful old fish. And I am well made up with that. Get in that net. Right, there's the other side. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Slip her back. And hopefully, Thank you, my love. See if we can get some more. Like I say, completely out of the blue that was. If I'd have reeled in 5 minutes earlier, I'd never have had her. Good job we had that second sausage and egg back. Come on, girl. One last look at her from there. Oh, that's a big gob. Go on, girl. Here she goes. Go on. There we go. Come on. There she goes. Slow waddle. She's away. Happy days. Right, well, we're now heading into the final night. Just had a cracking barbecue, 4th in a row. One of the nice things about coming away from home, you do things a little bit differently, and we've eaten pretty well this week, to be fair. Gonna miss having a baguette and an apple turnover every day for lunch. Feeling quite optimistic. Haven't seen a lot of show yet, but like I have said before, it's probably in about an hour's time. Once you get about 10 o'clock, when the sort of sun's completely gone in, is when they seem to start showing. But still feeling confident. All 3 rods have been out now for several hours, so I'm just happy really, to be fair. It's not been a bad, well, 4 nights really, midweek session. We've had a few fish. Obviously we're all greedy, we'd like to have a few more, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But we've still got plenty of time. We've still got 12 hours left before we've got to be off, and there's always chance it could kick off again like we did the first night. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, I really like to end it with another big carp. My target was a 30-pounder, but I broke my PB with a 26, well, round that, so I can't complain. But it's just when you have such a good start compared to last year, where it took me 6 days and nights to get one, and then you get one on the first night, and then it just goes quiet. You know, it's just one of those things, but that's fishing for you at the end of the day. I've had a cracking session and look forward to coming back again. You know, so yeah, just hopefully we get a last minute winner.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. We've got plenty of time anyway, so like I say, we've still got the full night, haven't we? So we ain't gonna be off till 9:30 in the morning, but obviously we'll have the rods in and everything by about 8:30, so we can get the gear taken around to the car and have a shower before we leave. But
oh yeah,
it's been a successful week. We've had plenty of fish, so
I didn't blank, which is the main thing, because I know plenty of people will come to France and blanked, and my mate blanked about 10 years ago, and I still rip him for it. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no checkbook and pen for any one of us this week. So right, well, we're gonna sit back, get the kettle on, have a few brews, put the worlds to rights, watch the sun go down, and then turn in for the night. Fingers crossed, though. We'll see you again during the night and not first thing in the morning.
Exactly. Come on, I want to be woken up again. Come on.
See you in a bit.
In a bit.
Right, well, good morning. Sadly, nothing to report last night. Not even a liner, unfortunately, but that's the way fishing goes. We have been greeted though by a beautiful sunrise this morning. Those mists coming up off the lake. Unfortunately, no more fish. Time's now 25 to 7, so we've got about an hour and a half left before the bailiff comes round to pick us up. So just finished getting the bivvy and everything down now, so it's going to chill out, have a couple of cups of tea. Fingers crossed we might get lucky in the next hour or so, but chances are probably not. The way the week's gone, we haven't had anything this late in the morning up until sort of lunchtime. But it's been a fantastic trip. Really pleased with the fish that we've caught. Done better than we did last time, that's all that matters. So thank you very much to Mark at Vallee Lake 1, beautiful facilities in a cracking lake, and thank you very much to you all for watching. Hopefully this might have given you a bit of insight as to what may or may not work for you should you come to this cracking lake. But if you do, I wish you all the best. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Well, people say sometimes you've got to save the best till last. And would you believe it? Everything's packed away. We were just talking about having one last cup of tea because we've got half an hour before the bailiff gets here. The left-hand rod, the one that's done most of the fish all week, absolutely screamed off. I thought it was some swans going through the line, but got to and weren't. Played what I thought was a 30 pounder. 55 pound and 10 ounces later. A beautiful, beautiful common. Let's see if she'll behave and I'll get her up for you to have a look at. Oh. There we go. 55 pound and 10 ounces. A beautiful, beautiful common. I am well made up with that. It's the first 50 I've had for a few years. And only a pound under a PB. £1 bigger. Should have been a PB. There we go. Oh. Right, let's slip her back. She's full of absolute beans. One last look at her. Oh, 55 pound, 10 ounce. Absolutely mega. Oh, thank you, my love. Thank you for making my trip. Come on. We've become close. She doesn't want to leave me now. Unlike every other woman I've ever met. Go on, sweetheart. Vallee Lake, one in France, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute beast of a lake. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.